It's time for a Success from Scratch segment brought to you by Liftique. Look years younger without facelift surgery. As I've been telling you, go to Liftique, Liftique, Liftique.com. Okay. This is a great Success from Scratch segment, and I'll tell you why. Because it is about a loser who stayed a loser, then became a loser, then stayed a loser again, and then exploded with success. And this is Mike Lindell. Now, you probably don't recognize the name Mike Lindell, but he's the guy who is the My Pillow guy. You see him on TV. He does those commercials. He does those infomercials. And he is, I got to tell you, he has quite a story. He went from being addicted to cocaine and alcohol and crack to being an entrepreneur worth $100 million. I was addicted to cocaine and somewhat of an entrepreneur. I have to say that.
Are you worth $100 million?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not even close to $100 million. So this is, you talk about a success story. And all of this, he came by this fortune because he couldn't get a good night's sleep. And sometimes these stories just happen serendipitously when something just falls in your lap or you come up with an idea, the light bulb goes off, and this happened in the middle of the night. He's 56 years old. He raised 4 kids with his first wife in his now hometown of Carver, Minnesota. And here are the failed entrepreneurial ventures. He's one of those guys that is always coming up with crackpot schemes that they're just losers. Hey, I've got an idea. They sit at bars and they talk to those strangers next to them and come up with these crackpot schemes and tell you about them. And you just know, come on, really? So here are some of the entrepreneurial ventures that he opened in Carver County. One, cleaning carpets. Okay. But and there are some people that are very successful at cleaning carpets, for sure. Zero Res being one of them. Raising pigs. Well, I don't know. Raising pigs. You wake up one day and decide you're going to be a pig farmer. Yeah, what do you do? Is that it? When he was asked in first grade, what do you want to do when you grow up? And all of his buddies said, well, I want to be a fireman. Well, I want to be a ballerina. I want to be the president. And then Mike raises his hand and says, I want to raise pigs.
I said I wanted to be a construction worker because you got laid off. Apparently my dad was horrified.
You bet. I would be too. Running lunch wagons. I mean, it's legitimate, but it takes some expertise. You don't just, okay, let's start running lunch wagons. And then counting cards. That's a little tough. First of all, you have to be really good at it. Second of all, you get caught doing it unless you are superb, and then you get thrown out of casinos, and sometimes they arrest you. And during this entire period, he became very heavily addicted to alcohol and cocaine. So in 1980, he came up with another one. He's going into the bar business now. And in an interview with CNBC, he admitted, that wasn't a very good idea, since at that point he was a hardcore cocaine and alcohol addict, and you don't really want to open up a bar. So in the 90s, it became crack cocaine. He went from just regular cocaine into crack cocaine. See, that's where I drew the line. I never went into crack. I stopped snorting. I stopped at snorting. And for more than a decade, his life just continued to spiral downwards. And so those addictions, and this is not unusual, as a matter of fact, it's unusual if this doesn't happen, cost him his marriage of 20 years, his house, and his businesses. All right, now, how did this idea come about? All right, he said he's never a good sleeper, mainly due to uncomfortable pillows. It's hard to get a good pillow. It truly is. So in 2004, he had a dream about a pillow which held its shape. And Okay, he wakes up and he obsessed over turning this dream into a reality. And this is all based on finding that perfect, comfortable pillow. And so he decided to go forward with this. And so he learned how to sew the pillows himself. And he spent months cutting pieces of foam with his son, Darren, trying to figure out what the perfect pillow is. So he came up with some prototypes, and here is naivete on a level that is almost incomprehensible. He goes to a Bed Bath & Beyond store to pitch the My Pillow. And I went in there and said, hey, I have the best pillow in the world. How many would you like? And the manager says, okay, you need to leave. There's the door. And he walks away totally dejected. And I'm going to come back and tell you the rest of the story. In the meantime, when we come back, I'm going to show you and tell you how you can win some money. KFI AM 6.